Worthing FC TV with Chris Agutter following today's 1-1 draw against St Albans City in the National League South. Aggie, how did you assess it?
Oh, it's gutting, wasn't it? Gutting. Game should be done. We've created more than enough opportunities for the game to be out of sight by the hour mark, really. They come into the game. They had one chance in the first half. Other than that, nothing really in the first hour of the game. Then they had a bit of a spell, but I thought we quickly shifted momentum back in our favour, created a few more chances, missed a few more chances, and we didn't see the game out particularly intelligently, maturely, and they obviously get a late equaliser, which deja vu to last week. Very, very disappointed.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. The last minute aside, and then scoring so late on is one thing, but going forward today, you got into the final third and probably were a little bit wasteful at times, but getting into good positions and giving the ball away or overhitting passes and just pure frustration. Yeah, the final ball wasn't good enough, or if the final ball was good, the finish wasn't quite right. We're just nowhere near ruthless enough in the opposition's penalty box. There's no other real explanation for it, to be honest. I mean, the spell where they got on top for sort of 10, maybe 15 minutes, as I said, in the second half, that was through. We stopped dominating second balls, stopped doing the ugly stuff as well as what we had done for the previous game, which then gives us a platform to attack. But once we got back on track with that, again, it was just a case of more forward momentum, more opportunities created, but just really wasteful. We can't dress it up in any other way, to be honest. Some of our play to get to the final third was outstanding. I mean, the goal today is another brilliant team move, finished off with a fantastic finish from Nicky. But ultimately, no one cares because we haven't won. We should be sitting here 2 points off top. And we're not. We're just fortunate that the rest of the league is as inconsistent and as chaotic as what we can be, to be honest. But equally, that makes it even more frustrating because I haven't come away from many games this year where I feel like we haven't been the dominant team and we haven't been the team on the front foot, and we haven't been the team that's creating more chances. We just left far too many points out there. We're in a good position and all the rest of it, but the feeling is where could we be if we were more ruthless. I suppose the positives today was that you were getting in those positions on quite a regular basis. Really, getting into those positions is what you're looking to do, and maybe about working on the decision making in the final third, maybe going forward.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was more the execution at times. I thought the decision wasn't too bad. It's just the execution. So no real excuses. I think with the quality of play we've got in forward areas and the quality of chances we're creating, the game should be done. Again, last week the game should have been done. We've created even more chances today. I watched St Albans in the week against Bournemouth and knew it would be a really tough test, but Bournemouth had less opportunities and scored 3 goals and were clinical, and we've had far more opportunities and been really wasteful. And that's why Bournemouth walked away with 3 points and why they're now above us in the league and why we've walked away with a point today. That's it.
Moving on, Enfield next week at home, last game before Christmas in front of a home crowd. I guess you know what you've got to work on this week, I guess. Put the ball in the net, lads. That's it really. But again, we know Enfield are going to be a tough test. I know their manager really well. He's a very, very good manager. He's a very, very good coach. He's recruited really well of late as well, so they've strengthened. They've been to the likes of Dorking and picked up points in a similar fashion to what St Albans have done today. So we know it's going to be really tough. But one of the reasons the league is all over the place and is inconsistent is because it's extremely competitive. So everyone's taking points off of everyone at the minute. So we know it's going to be a really tough game. Equally, we're 3 unbeaten in the league, but obviously 2 wins and a draw. But going back to the Chelmsford game, the Farnborough game, then Western, Salisbury, and now today, we should be. I think some of our play deserves to have won 6 games in a row and we'd be top, but because we have been either not ruthless in our box in the Chelmsford and Farnborough games, or we haven't been ruthless enough in the opposition's box because of today. We find ourselves, as I said, still in the playoffs and still right in amongst it. But yeah, it is a real feeling of a missed opportunity, and obviously it was a nearly team last year, nearly team the year before. Just challenge the players, do you want to be a nearly team again? Because ultimately what it comes down to is both boxes. So last season Worthing were incredibly ruthless in the opposition's box, but not very ruthless in their own, and that's why obviously fell short. And this year we're finding a way to mix and match between the two. When we're looking ruthless and clinical in the opposition's box, we've found ways to give up goals the other end and drop points. And then equally, I thought we defended pretty well today. I mean, they've created very little, bar one chance, and Haigie's made a really good save, to be fair. But again, we found a way to not be ruthless in the opposition's box. So, and that's what's leading to the lack of consistency. And it's just really, what do we want to do? Do we want to be another nearly team that plays great attacking football and it's exciting, and obviously neutrals want to come and watch, and I think we give really good value for money, but one that ultimately doesn't win anything, and teams that don't win anything very quickly get forgotten. So, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to win. That was the brief. We said that in the summer. We want to win the league, but we won't win the league if we're not ruthless in both boxes. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, there's loads of great stuff in between both boxes, but it does not matter if you're not ruthless in both boxes consistently. And that was the difference with the teams that I've built, the teams that won something, the teams that haven't. The teams that were successful, the ones that ultimately it come down to both boxes. They were good in both boxes, and the teams that played some great football, brilliant, but if we weren't clinical in both boxes, it doesn't matter, and you end up losing in the playoff semi-final, like I've experienced, and no one remembers that. So it's we need to take stock. We need to acknowledge that we're doing an awful lot right. We're dominating pretty much every game we play, but we need to take that next step, and unfortunately that next step's the most difficult one. And if we do that and we do find that consistency, then it'll be a very exciting 2025. But if we keep going the way we are, then we'll be another nearly team, and we won't have achieved what we set out to achieve.
Thanks, Aggie.
Cheers, chap.